Today is June the 2nd, 2022, and I was struck by this idea that we can't take anything for granted. And we love to do it because it makes us feel safe and comfortable and stable and secure, because what we have we'd like to count on, and what we keep we believe is ours. And we think we have time, and that there's no rush towards any resolution or outcome. And while that might very well be the case, it's also true that all of this can be taken away in a second, in a matter of the blink of an eye. And that's not catastrophic thinking as much as it is realistic thinking. When I was a teenager, I read this book called The Art of Simplicity, I think. And although it is a very modest book, it really stayed with me because I had this image concluding the book of this woman who had this terminal disease, and we never knew whether she'd make it through the night, so she had reduced her belongings to the absolute minimum, which I think was the lesson of that very chapter. And that she was just closing every day, although as though it would be the last, and she had her suitcase with all of her belongings ready by the door of her room, so that if she were to call in an ambulance, she would be ready to go. I was so struck by this. It made me think every time I would find myself in what seemed like a life-threatening situation, and most of the times those were illusions. My life wasn't really at risk. And I'm talking here about, like big turbulences on an airplane, or intense fears around injuries. I think those are the types of fear that I've encountered. I guess every single time my question was, have you closed the suitcase? Are you ready? What are you leaving behind? Are your papers in order? Are you in a state of surrender and peace and harmony with people that you have loved? Have you done right by them? Have you done right by you? And I'm proud to say that every time that this question was coming up, my responses were positive. Now, this is not a triumphant celebration of my organization skills, although there might be a place for that. Maybe there should be a place for that. But at several times in my life, I felt very serene in the prospect of going, of leaving. And then the others, the idea of death was not a very serene one, and it was a struggle, and I didn't feel okay about it. But during those times, it was perhaps an exit button, something that would help me with alleviating the pain. Today I would be sad to leave. I believe